Hey everyone, welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. We are back here on Kubota Farm in East Vineland, New Jersey. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Happy Tuesday. Wow. I've been getting caught up with comments. I just want to take a second just to thank you all for all of your comments, the nicest comments in the world, and I really, really appreciate them all. I watch a few other YouTubers and just some YouTube channels, I see the comments and they're just nasty sometimes and negative and I don't know. And then I see some other channels where they've got great people that are commenting and stuff, and I'm just super thankful that I can be one of those channels where people leave positive comments, questions, things like that. It's always appreciated. Obviously, if you have suggestions for the channel, I'd love to hear them as well. I'm not adverse to criticisms, no doubt. But it's just nice to see, and I've seen a lot of that in Farming Simulator community, good stuff. And that's another reason why I really enjoy this game and like making these videos and watching the videos. But it's all not sunflowers and roses though right now, because I've been giving some thought to our little pigs. Now, before we get into that, look at our total. I finished up all of our selling after we ended our last episode, and look how close we got to 1,000,000. Oh, I was so disappointed. I was like taking that last load of silage over, and I'm like, come on. And it just didn't quite get there, but we will next time. But it's so nice to see some progress. We are going to be buying some land, I think. But it got me to thinking about our pigs, and honestly, the sheep are totally carrying the load. We get a ton of wool from them. Sorry, guys. You probably don't want to hear this, but the sheep are carrying their own. They're paying their way. The chickens are paying their way. The pigs, I'm not so convinced about. I've been doing a lot of looking at the pigs, as far as research online in the community, in the forums, and there's a lot of conversation about the economy that the pigs bring to the game, and I think maybe it depends on just what type of farm you're running. Um, they are great for the slurry, and they're great for the manure. But I'm not so certain we're getting our money's worth out of them as far as feed and stuff. And I know I've been buying a lot of feed for them. Well, not a lot of feed, but when I do feed them, I've been buying quite a bit. Um, we just the pigs want stuff we're not growing, and so there's two choices. Really, right? You either grow the stuff that's going to feed your pigs. Well, I guess there's three choices. You don't have pigs, so either you do or you don't have pigs. You get rid of the pigs. You grow the stuff they need to eat, or you buy it. You know. And when I look at our pig food, I mean, it's not so bad with three. I think we have 350 pigs. For the most part, I mean, their base food is corn, and we can cover that, I think, relatively easily. Grain we should be able to cover relatively easy. I think it's the root crops are always going to be a bit of a problem right now, because I'm not certain I want to get into root crops yet. Eventually it would be nice to get into potatoes, or I don't know, maybe we will do sugar beets. Excuse me, maybe we will do some sugar beets, because we've got that new limpkin, and it does everything but potatoes as far as planting goes. We can sell slurry. We have got a lot of slurry, and I'm actually considering. Um, I was gonna. I was going to. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place a little bit. This is the way my mind works sometimes, but I was hoping that it was automatically feeding this guy over here, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is, which is a shame. So if we want to get this 128,000 some odd liters of slurry, we either need to transport it over here manually or use it in the fields. And we will be using slurry in the fields, and we can just let it go, but we can sell slurry too. I don't think it's... How much do you... let's just do some quick looking here at slurry. I've never found it to be very profitable, but we do need to feed our sheep, by the way. 138,000. The high is $108. So right now we could sell a bunch of slurry this month at $108. I am going to grab my handy dandy calculator that I have sitting here just for fun. Just bear with me at uno momento. So 138 times 108, if we were to sell all of it, basically, right? Excuse me, sorry. Some of you probably already have the answer because you're much better at math than I am, but that's roughly going to be $15,000. Yeah, that's not a lot. It's just not a lot of money. In fact, it kind of, without doing any special figuring, I have to assume that slurry is far more valuable to use on the fields in replacement of buying fertilizer than it is in selling. And we don't need 15,000. Ooh, if we sold it though, we'd hit that $1 million mark, wouldn't we? That's kind of tempting, but I think we're gonna pass. I think we're gonna pass. We'll get that slurry used up, and I guess I'm not that worried about it. It just kind of stinks that it doesn't deliver over to that tank. And is it because that tank's too far away, or is that just not how it works? I can't remember. I don't know that I've had enough pigs. Actually, I've had a lot of pigs, but I've never let the slurry fill up. So I'm not entirely certain. Yeah. I'm not entirely certain if it's supposed to overflow into that tank, and is the tank just too far away? It seems to... Common sense tells me, if I can go that far, common sense tells me that it should overflow into that tank automatically. Maybe it is, and I'm not being patient enough, you know? We'll check next month and see if those numbers go up on that tank. Now, that mod that I told you about a few episodes ago, let me get this grass going over here for our sheep. They've been giving me the stink eye here for a while because they know that their food's getting low. I tell you, I would drop that pig pen in a heartbeat and trade it off with another sheep pen. And in fact, I was doing a little looking offline and considering even finding us a place to put another sheep pen like this. But this is not an inexpensive sheep pen. Unlike the chicken pen, this sheep pen is $135,000, and it's big. It's quite large. So we would really need... I mean, yeah, I mean, we could put it in this field right here. You know, we could put it in this field. We could fill it up with sheep. I think by the time we paid for this and filled it with sheep, I think we're looking at close to a couple $100,000 investment, maybe. I don't know. It's tough to say. It's tempting. It honestly is tempting, if I'm being honest with you, to sacrifice a good chunk of this field for another sheep pen. And maybe the rest of it have for grass. It's super tempting. I have wool fever, I think. I think that's the problem, is I have wool fever. Did I turn on... I don't think I turned on super strength. That's kind of interesting. I don't remember turning on super strength. Huh. Alright. Maybe I did. Did I turn on super strength? Maybe I turned it on before the video started and I forgot. Anyways, how you looking, sheep? How we doing? We doing okay? Are you happy for a little bit? I'm talking you up, so... It's tempting. It really is, and it's because it's just simple. They're super simple to take care of. I mean, it's grass, right? I mean, shoot, I could, we can do grass all day and feed these sheep, and um, we can sell the wool outright. We're leasing the spinnery now, so we can take the wool over to the spinnery for fabric. We can look at the tailor shop to take our fabric to. Um, they're they're probably my favorite animal in the game. Now I know in real life, from my understanding, from what I've seen, they are not quite that easy and favorable in real life. If any of you have watched Clarkson's Farm, which I think some of you who watch this channel have watched Clarkson's Farm, they're a nightmare. At least they are for at least they are for him. And there's a lot of expenses that go along with animals that we don't see in the game. Obviously, a lot of healthcare expenses, veterinary, just so much that's involved. I wouldn't know half of it, but I do know that it's not in the game. And that's one thing I would like to see in the game is a little more realism, I think, for the husbandry part of it, for the animal husbandry part of it. I think that would be pretty cool. And still maintain that where you can kind of set your own level so it's not just immediately more difficult for everybody. Some people wouldn't probably like it that way. For me personally, oh, you are going to make life difficult on me, aren't you? I know. Laughing at me for my trailer skills. But I think it'd be kind of cool to have a little bit more of a realistic feel for the animals in the game, and because right now this is it's easy cash. Now granted, we're not playing on hard economy mode either, so that would also make a big difference as far as how much money we get back from them. But boy, they keep pumping out the wool. Now this is 500 sheep, and it's easy to forget that we're sitting here with 500 sheep. Um, and that's a lot of sheep. I think the biggest base game sheep pen is like 60. So, yeah, we'd have to have several sheep pens, and that would be pretty expensive to buy five sheep pens at 60 sheep apiece. Yeah, you're talking about a pretty good investment there. So, a lot of that starting money we didn't have to worry about because of that bad boy over there that holds 500 sheep. Anyways, that all being said, they'll be happy for a couple, 2, 3 more months. I think our chickens are okay. Pigs, you are what you are. You have food, deal with it. So little respect for the pigs. I feel kind of bad actually that I have so little respect for the pigs, but it is what it is. So there's really not much else we can do this month. Contracts are null, and really nothing's growing right now. Everything's kind of in that hibernate stage. We plowed our cornfields over yonder there, so they're all good to go. We really don't want to fertilize yet until we figure out what we're going to plant. The only thing left to deal with is the money, right? Is how to spend the money. I think I looked through this month's sale items and there was nothing super intriguing here. I kind of liked this spreader, but again, I think it still makes sense to, I think, just lease a spreader. I'm also was thinking briefly about just buying this John Deere forage harvester. Oh man. But I don't think that makes enough sense right now. I think continuing to lease when we need it makes more sense. I also think buying land makes more sense right now. And honestly, the way that the land is, we can pretty much, it's all grass, so it doesn't really matter what. Because when I go to look at fields, I look at location. I try to buy fields local to the farm first and kind of work my way out. And I also look at, with precision farming, I look at the expected yield potential. And a lot of times I look at what crops are currently on there. Sometimes that can play into, at least for me, what land I want to buy next. Um, I think for us, like I was looking at this, and basically this is the cow barn. There's no land here for us to develop. It's just if we buy this property for $541,000, mind you, we're going to get a cow barn. And I just don't think we're ready for cows. I don't think we need to get into cows. I think we're better off picking up property. So I was thinking about field 4, which has really, really good yield potential. We could always join it with 3 if we want to. It's totally up to, what we feel like doing. 82 has good yield potential, and that's a nice large field. That is 500 roughly 575,000. So between, I don't even know if we could afford 575, 875. We could probably afford to buy both of these without much left in the bank. But we could definitely buy 4, and I was thinking about buying 6. So just to give you an idea, let's go ahead and turn on flight real quick, and let's turn on some fast movements. So this field right here, I was thinking we could pick up. We own all of this, obviously. We don't own this. I did actually look because I was kind of curious. We can sell these houses. So if we bought this plot of land right here, we could sell that house. I think it's $0 value. Cut these trees down, and we would be able to add on to our poplar field, which eventually won't be a poplar field. So that's actually something to consider as well. How much is that bad boy? $206,000. Okay. But I was thinking about this land right here. It's right here. It's convenient. It's local. And then this guy right here, which is basically, I think, very, very close to the size um, of field 3. I think it's actually bigger than 3, isn't it? 3 is 2.5, and 4 is actually it's a little bit smaller. Close, very, very close though. Very, very close. And 6 is 1.57. So we'll be adding 1.5 roughly and 2.5. So basically, what, 3.5, 4, almost 4 acres of land. 4 hectares, I guess you would say. And have some decent money left over for leasing equipment as we see fit. And it'll give us a strong start on our next, for our next harvest and our next selling period. So I don't think there's anything too shabby with that. One other thing. Oh, Brad, you keep hitting the wrong button. I'm sorry about that, everyone. The only other one I was going to check again was 131, which, man, 419,000. I'm still super curious to see. Actually, I did go through that, didn't I? I did do a little investigation on that solar panel lot there, and it definitely would pay for itself. I think it would take, if I figured correctly, it would take 2 or 3 years before you'd actually pay for um, that it would pay for itself, because that's not cheap. But it's free income once it's paid for itself. So anyways, Sandy Loam, Field 6, let's go ahead and pick that up. And Field 4, let's go ahead and pick that up. That leaves us with, wow, that actually leaves us with still a decent amount of money, almost $400,000. Let's go ahead and buy the soil. What are you doing, Brad? What are you doing? Pin. We want to purchase. Why do I not see? Why do I not see? Oh, I need to turn that off. That's gonna really bother me. There we go. Okay. We want to We want to buy the soil information. Why is it not showing me an option to purchase. Reset, show total values. Am I missing something here? Why is it not showing me the option to purchase? Reset show total values, right? But where's the option to purchase the soil information? There it is. Okay, I guess I had to switch to a soil types. Man, I was getting nervous there for a minute. I was thinking, I broke the game again. All right, we want to purchase the soil information for 4 and for 6. Do most of you who play precision farming do it this way? Or do you do it the other way where you actually buy or lease that soil tester, hook it onto a tractor, and drive around? You know, I did that when I first started with precision farming, and that was enough for me. I did it on one map. I think I did it for like 3 fields, and I was like, "Yep, done. Had enough of that. I'm buying the soil. I'm buying the soil information from here on out. Thank you very much." Okay, so where are we sitting here? Actually, next month we can do the grass on this. Very nice. And I would bet this field will also be ready next month. Oh, we are going to have a lot of mowing. I love it. That's awesome. That's so much silage. And then once we get our first cut off of both of these fields that we just bought, we can decide what we're going to do with them. I don't think we'll leave them as grass. I think we will plow them up and do something with them. This one right here, I'm a little bit tempted to leave as grass, if I'm being honest with you. And even doing the old join-a-roo, you know. But let's give that some thought. Think about that. I know I'm doing a lot of yapping this episode. My apologies. It's just we have fallen on that time of year when it's just making some decisions and preparing for planting season. Speaking of, if we go over to the calendar, what my thought was skipping February. The only thing we can plant in February is cotton and canola. And I thought, no, don't want to do cotton yet. Canola, eh. And I was thinking we can move ahead to March. And now that we were talking about sugar beets, I'm kind of tempted to do a field of sugar beets. I was really seriously considering sunflowers. And so sunflowers, sugar beets. Man, I don't want to do poplar and sugarcane. I'm a glutton for punishment sometimes, but not that much punishment. But I was thinking, excuse me, I apologize. I was thinking sunflowers, sugar beets, and maybe oats. We haven't done oats, I don't think yet. And we want to do more corn. We need to keep doing corn. I think we should do corn every season. I think that would be a smart thing to do. So let's go ahead and, with what time we have left here, let me take a look here. We're getting close to the end of this episode, but let's go ahead. I'm excited about those fields. I'm glad we bought those fields. Pretty happy about that. Hello, chickens. I was talking you up. Don't make me look bad. I know you're doing well for us. I think we can go ahead and let's skip forward to January. Or did I say January? I'm at February. My apologies. We'll skip ahead to February. Pardon me for a second. My throat is driving me crazy. I think it's very, very dry air we have going on here where I live right now. All right, February has come around. And you can see something else I noticed too was when we're skipping months, it's very obvious about how your expenses for each month. We have no reoccurring income coming in right now. So nothing that is helping balance out our monthly costs, our property costs, our lease costs, things like that. So every month it would be nice to find something that was a background, you know what I'm saying, like solar panels, windmills, things like that that would help offset those monthly things that we have going on. Man, you chickens are going to town. Those roosters must be exhausted. Must be exhausted. Oh, jeez. All right, let's take a quick look at the sales in the shop. I always try to remember to. Oh, I really like that Krone Big Baler. We don't need it, but man, that would be fun to have. Probably my favorite baler in the game, right there. I've loved this thing since, I don't know, some of you remember, I think it was 2015 or 17. This won the mod contest. Was it B&M modding or something like that that did it? Um, oh, it was just fantastic. And the sides opened and you could buy, I think, twine at the time. It was just so innovative for the game. And that won, if I remember correctly, that won the overall mod contest. Um, and ever since, it's just been my favorite baler in the game, I would say by far. Well, look at what's for sale. How much do you want? 2.225 million. Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. Oh, there's our Limpkin. Not our Limpkin, but basically our Limpkin, just not modded. Um, we could buy oh, this would be such a good way to I bet cheat. We could probably buy like a hundred of these clothes palettes for 30% off, for 29% off, turn around and simply take them and sell them, and I bet we'd probably double our money. That would be so cheaty, though, wouldn't it? Right? I mean, that's got to be, even for me, that's pretty cheaty. And the only reason, by the way, that's in the shop here is because of the mod that I have installed, which is the buy production pallet mod, which allows you to buy pallets of anything that production factories need. Because I always feel like if I'm gonna, like, for instance, if I have I don't know, the sugar production or some factory, the bakery or something, and I don't want to produce and I don't want to have to feed it sugar because I don't want to do sugar cane, that mod lets you buy sugar. Um, I like this. Isn't this what we leased last time? Indeedly, it is because we got the special, didn't we? $66,000. How much off is that? 20%? We'll keep. Oh, but this. Now, this might be a different story. 31,000 bones, not too shabby. 20% off. This is the 27,750 liter one. 180 horse with a 10-meter spread. Yeah. And we can always customize later. Oh, man. This is one of those tankers that was in that mod I showed y'all a few episodes ago. Okay. I'm not going to buy it right now, but we seriously need to think about that, I think, because that's actually a really good price. So I think I mentioned it earlier when I was talking about, oh, that's what I wanted to check. Let's go see how much slurry is in this tank. Yeah, okay. That answers that question. So it's not automatically bringing this over to there. This mod that I showed you a few episodes ago that has that tanker in it. Is it from 46 Mods or... Now I can't remember who produced it. Let me find it here if I can find it relatively quick. So I'm having a very difficult time right now doing that. Sorry, guys. I will find it. I promise. It's staring me right there. Yep, 46 mods. So it's all of these tankers, right? But it also includes a pump right here. And it also includes a bunch of these round open pits. And it also includes a trigger. It looks kind of like a sleep trigger kind of a deal. Well, it doesn't look like a sleep trigger, but it's that kind of an idea. And you place that trigger down like next to the tank here, and that's what will automatically draw the slurry from your pig pens over to these tanks. And I thought, Brad, I'm just going to grab that trigger. I'll put it down over here and all will be well. But then I realized that it doesn't work with in-game slurry tanks. You have to use 46 mods. The same modder that makes these came out with the open slurry tanks. And if you use one of those, which I guess we could technically get rid of this and in its place, put one of those in its place, I'm going to look into that. I'll look into that. If that's something we can do easy enough, I got no problem with that. I'm going to look into that. I'll check that out offline, and I will let you know next episode if that's something we did or not. Anyways, regardless, if we look at our sale items again, and the only reason I'm kind of tempted to buy this is, number one, I think it's an excellent mod. They did a really, really nice job on this thing. It's highly customizable. Plus, it's a huge tanker that will work with our M8, and I close for the M7, but definitely the M8 will be able to tow this thing. And I think as long as we're going to keep pigs on the farm, this right here really might be a nice addition. So let's end it there. Let's just call it good. Let me give it some thought. You all give it some thought. If you've got any ideas, you can leave them in the comments. For me, I'm kind of thinking I will check on replacing this tank right here with one of the 46 mods versions. And maybe then we can have our pig juice automatically transferred over here if it makes sense to do so. But thanks everyone again for putting up with me this episode. I know I did a lot of yapping. I apologize. I just it's just one of those episodes where you got to sit back, think a bit about what you want to do next, and then be ready to move forward. And it looks like we've got another pallet of cornmeal and some more cracked corn. Is this production facility empty yet? Has it gone through all of our corn? It has indeed gone through all of the corn. Okay. How's our wool doing? Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Where are you, Mr. Where is the spinnery? I always lose the spinnery. I don't think we have any fabric pallets yet. Nope, no fabric pallets yet. Maybe next month we'll start seeing a fabric pallet out there. But thanks again, everyone. I appreciate it. I will hopefully see you tomorrow, Wednesday, back here at Kubota Farm. Keep in mind that Thursdays are no more Kubota Farm. We're just going to do Throwback Thursday in its place. And then Kubota will be back Friday. But thank you all again. Thanks so much for all the awesome comments. Sorry wasn't getting back to you all as quickly as I normally do over the holidays. It got a little bit tough. But I think I'm caught up and back in the swing. So if you leave comments, I try to get back to each and every one of you because I really do appreciate all your feedback and what you have to say. Take care of yourselves. Let's take care of each other. And I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.